All right, hey everyone, welcome to week 8 of fantasy football. I read a really interesting article this week. It was from Bill Simmons' website called The Ringer. I don't remember exactly who wrote it, and don't remember right now exactly what university did the study, but they've been putting a study together over the, I think it was 2008 to 2012. They gathered the data, and then they've been analyzing it. And this is what it was. It sounded really interesting. I thought you guys would like it. They're basically coming up with a war, wins over replacement against replacement. And what they're doing is they decided each position in football, which one has the biggest value. So, like, obviously, number one is quarterback. That is the position that if you lose your quarterback, your team averages losing more often than any other position. So, what's the 2 spot? Very close. All had very similar numbers. Was wide receiver, tight end, and your exterior offensive lineman. Those seem to be the four most valued positions in football when it comes to winning. So then what's on the opposite end? I don't think you'd be surprised either. You have running backs and interior linemen. You can kind of swap in any running back you want nowadays, it seems like, and they can have value as long as you have a good running game plan. An interior lineman, a guard, not as valuable as a tackle. So it kind of makes sense as well. But here's the thing. The absolute worst, okay, was every defensive position. Okay? You can lose a cornerback, a linebacker, a safety, an interior lineman, outside linebackers. Doesn't matter what position. Every single defensive position is ranked below offensive positions. I found that really interesting, and they went on to say it's because you can just switch to zone defenses. You can switch how you blitz and when you blitz, and you can even go to man coverage if that's what's needed. Just found that so interesting that every single defensive position is valued lower when it comes to winning than offensive positions. So something for you to think about. Let me know what you think in that one. Let's get to the studs and duds from last week. Andy, you are the stud from last week. I know you pointed out that you've been the dud the 2 times you have lost, but this week I think you deserve, not because of that comment, but because your team is playing up to the hype and you just remind us how good you are. And I'm changing my mind. This week I do think you are the best team in the league, and I don't think Aaron is in your category anymore. I think he's fallen down to where I had Nick previously. So let's get to the dud. This one is even more obvious than Andy being awesome. Is Tyler, you let me get my first win, which means you are a dud. And it was close, but you should have done better. That's just bottom line. You don't lose to a winless team and not become the dud. So you are the dud. Let's get to the games for this week. Me versus Heiser. I think I'm still awful enough that we asked this question. Instead of, can I win? It's, what does Heiser have to do to lose? Okay? Can my winning streak continue? Well, that'll happen if Breeze is stifled, if Hill runs like he normally does, and if Jeffrey doesn't score a touchdown. And then we'll add a positive to my team if McCown balls it there against the Jets. I got a feeling, and I have a feeling that's going to happen. So I have a feeling I'm on a 2-game win streak. Sorry, Heiser. Aaron versus Ben. Aaron, you are 1B status, as I mentioned. I think you are the second best team in the league, but I don't think the gap between you and a few others is as big as it once was. And you can't catch Andy, but you are still favored every single week you show up. And I think you do, but it's in a close one. And Ben, you need a Jaya to run, and he's not running. It says bye week. That hurts. You lose. Aaron wins. Drew versus Tyler. This is a very interesting Browns game going on here, because Tyler has some Browns players, but Tyler has Forte and Drew has Powell or Belial, whatever his name is. So the question is, can Powell steal Forte's touchdowns? Because if he can, Drew could win this one. I don't think he's going to. Tyler rolls in this one. Nick versus Chris. Question, what's wrong with Carson Palmer? He looks awful. And you have Miller hurting. You have 2 other running backs playing that I just don't. You're having very bad luck in the running back position, Chris. I think that hurts you this week, especially with Latavius Murray coming back for Nick and having a good game, and Cousins is playing well. Nick continues. Nick wins. John versus Andy. Just like we asked the question, what does the other team have to do so that I could win? We should ask the question, what does Andy have to screw up with so that someone can beat him? And I think, John, you are really rolling some die here. Man, you need to score lots of points to beat Andy, and you have Sproles, Bush, Adams, and Doyle. They could all just torch. Okay, they have that ability to torch. But here's the issue. I think all 4 are going to get you less than 10 points. Not total, but each of them will not get over 10. which isn't even close to enough points that you're going to need to beat Andy. Andy wins. Last game of the week is Ben Baker versus Jim. Frank Gore is annoyingly good. I don't think he's a great running back whatsoever anymore, but he's annoyingly putting up 15 points every single game. Aaron Rodgers is back, hopefully I should say, but he had a good game. And Stewart, he's returned, had a really good week last week. And then Jim, the Titans got you 1 point on defense. I think anytime our defenses are at 0 or negative, I wonder how often you lose in that scenario, because I feel like it's probably pretty high. So because of that bad game, and I think with Montgomery and Booker, one of them is going to put up like 5 points, and that's going to hurt as well. So, Ben Baker, you win. That's it for this week. Go Browns, and as always, right now, go Tribe.